It's a landmark deal that is supposed to end a bloody conflict that has gone on for generations. Leaders of the Revolutionary Armed Forces of Colombia are holding talks on a peace agreement with the country's government. If all goes according to plan, that peace deal will be signed next week. But two pressing issues remain: land ownership and reintegrating fighters back into society. CCTV's Michelle Begay begins our insight.
El jefe de la delegación del gobierno de Colombia.
The wide-ranging agreement not only covers a lot of ground, part of it literally concerns the ground.
Logramos un acuerdo sobre el primer punto.
We reached an agreement on rural development, which simply translates into more development for rural areas and better quality of life for our farmers.
The vegetation in this Bogotá National Park is lush because of Colombia's rich soil. This land is rich in another sense, too. Owning it can make you rich, which is why the expression, the 1%, has a more specific meaning here. Colombia's 1% are landowners, which is why the FARC has pressed so long for land reform. According to a UN study, land distribution here is among the most unequal in the world. More than half of the country's farms are held by only 1% of landowners. So the two sides agreed to redistribute land through a new Lands for Peace fund. They've pledged to improve the country's infrastructure, its health and education services, and step up efforts to eradicate poverty. As Mao Zedong once said, political power grows out of the barrel of a gun. So the guerrillas asked for assurances they'll have political power when they put down their arms. They got them. The agreement guarantees their participation in government. A symbol of that pledge? Signing the accord with special bolígrafos, or bullet pens, made from what was once live ammunition.
The important aspects that so far have been agreed on give Colombians the possibility of opening the doors for a true democracy.
Opening doors to a stronger democracy will require closing doors on drugs. The government has long accused the guerrillas of drug trafficking to fund their war. To help beat swords into plowshares, programs to encourage the FARC to swap coca for coffee or some other crop unrelated to the drug trade.
The FARC commits in the agreement to contribute in an effective way, with major determination through different means and practical actions towards solving the problem of illicit drugs.
The agreement also addresses the healing process, as does this memorial. This is Bogotá Center for Memory, Peace and Reconciliation. Colombians built this memorial looking forward to this day. The center's sculpture garden is dedicated to the conflict's 6 million victims. Every corner of this space is an expression of hope after a conflict that outlasted America's longest war and dragged on after the end of the Cold War.
The sound that you hear and what you're seeing tonight, not hammers and sickles, but hammers and chisels as young people take down this wall bit by bit.
Beyond 9/11 and a second war in Iraq. 10 Colombian presidents have come and gone. And 8 U.S. presidents. Latin America's longest armed conflict finally over after talks that at times like the war felt like they would never end. Michelle Begay, CCTV, Bogotá.